It would have been easy to doubt this Syracuse women's lacrosse team with the way the season began. After a trip to the Final Four last year and a couple of awesome players graduating, a 3-3 start to this campaign was not ideal. But nobody wants to play their best lacrosse in February. Ever since an overtime loss to Stony Brook in the first week of March, Syracuse has won every game. The Orange are on a 7-game win streak. Kayla Trainer's squad is the number 3 team in the country and has aspirations for the first national championship in program history. Before SU wants to get to Cary, North Carolina, it has business to take care of against Pittsburgh at Cicero North Syracuse High School this Saturday. We're talking all things women's lacrosse. It's Cuse Countdown, and it starts right now. Welcome into the CitrusTV studio. Austin Barach, Adam, Avin, Sam, Reis here. Guys, look at us. The gray suits, the blue ties. We should be a band.
I love it. We're the Beatles, but of CitrusTV.
Of CitrusTV.
3 shades of gray, baby.
We're so good at talking music, at talking ball. Let's have a combination and talk about the sweet music of Syracuse women's lacrosse right now. Guys, this is a team on a 7-game winning streak. You just saw it. They're playing really good lacrosse right now, Adam.
They're playing really good, and it's been really impressive, too, especially with how they started off the year a little bit slow. They started 3-3, now they're 10-3, Sam, and everyone really seems to be on the same page. I mean, they have wins against UAlbany, Cornell, number 7 Loyola Maryland, which was a really good win. But I think the most impressive part about this whole winning streak is they've continued to stay undefeated in ACC play. They're 6-0 on the year right now, and 4 of those 6 came on the 7-game winning streak. So they're really hitting their stride on the final end of the season right now.
Right. It's no secret that it's a loaded ACC conference, so to still be undefeated in conference play is a testament to how well this team has been playing as of late. And what's really stood out for me has been the offense. During the 7-game win streak, Adam, they have scored 15 or more goals in all 7 of those wins. And you see the stats right there comparing, that a little bit of a slow start to their last 7 games, and it's certainly notable. And I look at a player like Emma Tyrell, who had a bit of a slow start to the season herself. She's made a big statement in the last few games. I mean, in 5 of those 7 games during this win streak, she scored 4 more goals. This team's clicking, Austin.
But it's the whole team. 125 in the last 7 games.
Yeah.
Is a lot more than 84 and 6, right? So they're playing really well.
Very true.
It can't always be perfect for Kayla Trainer's squad. It's interesting when you talk about Trainer. The hot seat got a little bit warm after those first 6 games, but you're talking about a coach in her 3rd year with the program that lost Megan Carney, Megan Tyrell, and Sierra Cockrell from a year ago. And Sam, she's turning around this team, like I said, with Emma Tyrell playing really well right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And those names you mentioned, I mean, those are elite players that are no longer on this team. So it was always going to be tough to bounce back after last season, losing some of those star names and seeing how Kayla's squad could do this season. And yes, it was a little bit of a slow going at the start, but some players have really embraced their role in terms of stepping up or continuing to play well, like Ward, like Tyrell. Natalie Smith has been big time, and then some unfamiliar faces like transfer from Maryland, Emma Muchnick. Peyton Rowley's been making a big impact, so I think it's been a good mix of players we expected to perform well, getting it done, but also some new faces getting the job done too, Adam.
Look, she inherited a really great program from Gary Gate prior with a lot of amazing players, and you mentioned a few of them already. The Megans and Carney and Tyrell, Emily Harris-Tuck as well, who's up on the leaderboards and all-time scoring for the program, and obviously Sierra Cockrell last year played a big role on their Final Four run last year. And so you lose all those pieces. Playoffs year 1. Last year they went to the Final Four in year 2. This is year 3, and at the beginning it looked, like you said, Austin, it looked a little warm. We didn't really know. That was to be determined, and lately they've turned up, and I don't know if we're going to see. I'm not saying they're going to go even farther and go to a national championship, but I do think playoffs are on the horizon for this team, and you're looking to stay undefeated before you play BC at the end of the season to maybe potentially secure an ACC title.
I will quickly add, it is championship or bust, though, I think, for Kayla Trainer in terms of the expectation. You got to get it done in the postseason when all is said and done.
Well, the offense that she has. That certainly could be the expectation. You guys mentioned Emma Tyrell. I'm going to say it. We got to retire this race. The Emma dilemma, okay? It's happened. We've said it so many times around the program. Emma Ward and Emma Tyrell. But, Adam, there's another name that a lot of people need to know about. Olivia Adamson. She's been really strong this season.
She's probably been the most impressive player, Austin. And we've talked about a couple of the amazing stars that left the team. I mean, Megan Tyrell and Megan Carney are greats of this Syracuse program. And Olivia Adamson has filled the role flawlessly. I mean, last year we kind of viewed Olivia Adamson as another really good player on an incredibly talented team. Sam, you could put her at the draw circle. You could have her score goals. You could have her play midi and even go on defense every once in a while. But this year, I mean, not only is she the leader, she surpassed her points total just 13 games into the season this year. And last year, she ended up being really the second or third option on the team late because of injuries and things like that. But Olivia Adamson has stepped up to the plate. And every game, she might not pop out on the stat sheet. She had a game against Loyola where she just had 1 goal. And you might think, oh, well, but her impact is there because this offense, like we've been talking about, is so loaded that kind of like last year where teams either had to guard one Megan or the other. Yep. Now they have to decide, do I guard any of the Emmas or do I guard Olivia Adamson? And they're choosing to guard her. So her impact is being felt all over, not only in the stat sheet, but in the game results.
Yeah, a multifaceted player in Olivia Adamson. And another, I guess you could phrase as a two-way threat, as you see right there, is Emma Ward, because we all know she's an unbelievable playmaker with 25 assists on the year, but she's also a deadly scorer.
Yeah.
And she can rip it with 26 goals so far this season. And then Tyrell now leading the team in goals. You got 5 different players with 20 or more tallies this season, Austin. So it's really like, who do you defend? Because you can't focus on one because this team is full of weapons.
One of those players is Natalie Smith, a midfielder who can break you down off the dodge. And it's interesting because with all these scoring options, this team can really blitz you out of the gate in the second half. It's been interesting to see. You think about the Notre Dame game, you think about the Louisville game last weekend. They go and attack you. I mean, Sam, this is an offense in the second half that kind of reminds me of the prime Golden State Warriors in the 2010s.
Wow. I really like that comparison.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, I'll take it. Yeah.
Basketball
big basketball guy is Austin. But yeah, it's true. I mean, you look at some games like that recent game against Louisville that Austin mentions where it was surprisingly actually close, a 9-7, a close game at the half, but then Syracuse comes out in the third quarter and absolutely takes off. It takes that game into their own hands, and you see the stats right here. It has been just third quarter domination throughout this win streak. And so I don't know what it is about some of these games where they're a little bit slow to start against some, lower ranked teams like Louisville. But when it comes to halftime adjustments and coming out of the gate in the third quarter, my goodness, they seem unstoppable, Adam.
And that is something that Kayla Traynor was really good at last year. They'd go into halftime and come out with a whole new energy. But honestly, Sam, there was a lot of expectations for Emma Ward and Emma Tyrell to step up to the plate this year and replace the Megans from last year and be the stars to lead this team. And when they were starting the year 3-3, we thought, I don't know, are they going to show up? And then in the second half, especially on the 7-game winning streak, oh my God, have both of them shown up, but specifically Emma Tyrell, who went from scoring very little to now leading the team in goals.
Adam, another player who's been so instrumental to this team is Kate Mashesky, the draw control specialist. You got more?
To win games, you need to score goals. You score goals by getting possession. And if you're Syracuse, you can't do that without Kate Mashesky. The draw control specialist is in her 5th season with the Orange and continues to do what she does best. After an amazing 2022 campaign where Mashesky tallied 178 draw controls, there was only going up from there. In 2023, SU was in prime position for another championship run, something Mashesky was bound to play a big role in. The specialist secured 70 draw controls in just 7 games and helped the Cuse to an undefeated record. But then she suffered an injury that sidelined her for the remainder of the season. Mashesky decided that wasn't going to be the way her career in Orange would end and returned for a grad season this year. The start of the 2024 season was a bit rough, she'd tell you that herself. But oh boy, has she started to look like her old self. She has 109 draw controls this season through 13 games, including double digits in 3 of the last 4, and has the Orange on a 7-game winning streak. Oh, and I forgot to mention, last week Mashesky became the program's all-time leader in draw controls with over 440. Last year, SU struggled in the draw circle after her injury and still made it to the Final Four. So just imagine what this team can do with Kate Mashesky at full strength, playing the way everybody knows that she can.
That's a tremendous point about the ceiling of this team, Adam. Another person on this team that contributes to that ceiling is Katie Goodale, the defender. Sam, you got more on her.
Thanks so much, Austin. And you just heard moments ago Adam talking about Kate Mashesky's dominance in the draw circle. But someone who wins a lot of those draws that Mashesky takes is Katie Goodell, the prime defender on the Syracuse team. So let's break down some of what makes her so effective in a variety of ways. We start off here in this game against North Carolina. You see on this draw control, it's a loose ball in Syracuse territory. Goodell's all the way back here. It's kind of a loose ball. Goodell has no business getting it, but she swoops in to officially win the draw control. And then not only that, she has the IQ to put her head up, take it across midfield as we speed up the tape. The outlet pass, Syracuse goes down the field. We're going to speed things up a little bit because the point is Goodell winning that draw control in what was a little bit of a scrum ultimately leads to a chance at the other end in an Olivia Adamson goal that all resulted from Goodell's work on that draw control win. Now we're going to move on to later in this game against North Carolina that just happened a few weeks ago because Goodell is also elite at causing turnovers. She leads the team in caused turnovers. You see right there, she pokes it free from the UNC attacker. It's scooped up by her teammate Bianca Chevry. And then once again, we're going to speed up that tape because Chevry passes it ahead. Syracuse takes it down the field. And you guessed it, a few moments later, it's Natalie Smith with a goal for Syracuse. As we roll the tape, point blank range, Smith makes no mistake. Katie Goodell, she gets it done on the defensive end, and that ultimately leads to more opportunities at the other end of the field and a lot of success for Syracuse.
Good stuff, Sam. After the break, we learn about Pittsburgh. They're a team hungry for wins. We'll talk all about the Panthers in a few minutes. Welcome back to Cuse Countdown. Austin Barach, Adam Avin, Sam Reis here. We're talking about the Pitt Panthers, a team in just its third season of existence. Head coach Emily Boissonneau, she's got this team struggling a little bit right now. They're doing their best they can. 0-6 though in the conference, 4-9 overall this season. Adam, it's a new team. It's a program trying to find their footing.
Look, it's difficult, especially even in this NIL era, to build up a program starting, and it's just in its third year, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to put all the pressure on them just yet, Sam. But I mean, look, their first season they actually went 9-10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not that bad,
it's pretty
right?
good.
For your first year as a D1 pro in the ACC, which is the most difficult conference in women's lacrosse, and then next year they go 4-13. They're currently 4-9 with again 4 games to play. So you don't like to see that after starting your D1 career with a brighter future, I would say.
Right.
But I also think the glaring thing that you need to look at has been the conference record. You just talked about it. Obviously, the ACC is really difficult, but after 3 seasons, they have 1 conference win, Sam. They're 1-22 in the ACC. Their only win came against Louisville, which we know is a struggling program in itself, and they've been around for quite a while. But I mean, it's been bad.
It has been, and it's kind of crazy to think about that the first year of this program, their lone ACC win was in the tournament against Louisville, and they've gone winless in conference play all of last season and so far all of this season. Now, at the end of the day, It is just the third season of existence for the program, so I think growing pains have to be expected. I mean, in the Sam Reis school of expectations, when you go, I'm bringing that out right now. When you're a new team in Division I and you're in the ACC, I'll give you 5 years before I have legitimate expectations in terms of making a push in the ACC tournament.
Earlier this week, I got to talk to head coach Emily Boissonneau about the expectations, about how this season is different than the last 2 seasons. Take a listen.
I know you can't see it in the results right now or our record, but we're just competing at a higher level right now, and it's taken some time, but I think the whole team feels it, and so the energy and their presence and attitude is completely different than what it's been in the past 2 years.
I mean, Sam, you just heard that from Coach Boissonneau. It's a team that expects what their opponents can bring to the table at this point now that they've got a couple of seasons under their belt.
Right, and that's a fair thing to say. And Boissonneau is actually a very intriguing hire, and one that makes sense, I think, in the end, Adam, because when you look at it, she did have prior experience as an assistant coach at James Madison. She actually started her coaching career out at Winthrop as an assistant in the inaugural season of their program. And in her playing days, she played at Detroit Mercy, and in her freshman year, that was the first season Detroit Mercy was a program.
Wow.
Fun fact. So she's very familiar with coming onto the scene starting from scratch. So I think in that sense it was a good hire. Obviously that first hire is a very important one, and she's trying to build this team in the right direction.
Right, it's not like she came in and inherited a program like Kayla Traynor did.
Yeah.
And Kayla Traynor was an alumni. She was meant to come back here, and I think it's worked out well for her. But for Pitt, I mean, again, it's hard to bring in transfers in this current day and age, especially when it's a new program that people don't know that much about. So like you said, we're going to give it a little bit of time, see if maybe they throw some money at a player. Maybe Pitt is an intriguing destination in a couple of years just because they're building up that program, and they might get some big star, maybe an incomer or a transfer. And maybe we'll see if the Pittsburgh Panthers can make a run in the near future. But right now, with how the ACC is, I don't think so. Guys,
Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, we cannot talk about the story of this team without talking about what happened last Saturday in South Bend, Indiana. They lost 26-5. It was a scarlet letter type of a game. Coach Boissonneau had a lot of thoughts about that one.
When we played Notre Dame the other day, I mean, they moved that ball so fast, and they moved fast. And like we don't see that in our non-conference, right? Like it's the speed and the skill of the game in the ACC is elite, right? And so and I think the ACC can do it for 4 periods, right? Like, or for 4 quarters. And so learning to find that consistency is something we struggle with.
Guys, it was such an emotional loss that when they played Central Michigan on Tuesday, Boissonneau told the team, "We aren't playing Central Michigan. We're playing Notre Dame." Clearly, that loss, Adam, still lingers in the minds of the Panthers.
I mean, it's a little bad, don't you think, Austin, when the coach is saying, they were moving the ball too fast and we really struggled. I mean, there needs to be a little higher expectations. I know that she's been talking about it a little bit already. We need to be one of the premier programs, or at least we need to act like it and play tougher when we play those more difficult ACC opponents. But that hasn't been there. I mean, Notre Dame's a good team. They beat Northwestern. Syracuse beat them. Yep. I mean, they're at the top of the ACC as well. So, I mean, you don't really blame Pittsburgh for losing to them because they seem to lose to every other top ACC team. Notre Dame is a good squad, but I mean, 26-5, 21 goal difference, Sam, that's not anything to laugh at.
No, when you look at just how lopsided it was, that's where you have to kind of step back and say, all right, adjustments have to be made. And look at that right there. The draw controls is what stands out to me in that game. 26-7 in favor of Notre Dame. No wonder they were pouring it on. The Fighting Irish basically had all of the possession in this one, and we're just pouring it on. And I'll tell you what, if on Saturday, if Mashesky dominates in the circle, it could be a similar story.
It definitely could be. You see the 5 goals right there. Offense has been a struggle for this team, but they do have a well-rounded attack led by 3 players. You've got Jenna Hendrickson, Sydney Naylor, and Ava Washington. It's a 3-headed monster, Sam, that at least has been stepping in the right direction.
That's right. All 3 of those players you named have 23 or more goals this season. I would argue the team and the offense in general is a little too over-reliant on these 3, but they are 3 players who have delivered in multiple instances this season. All 3 of them are actually juniors, so a little veteran experience there. And Hendrickson, she notched a hat trick against Duke and Virginia Tech. Naylor and Washington have both had 5-goal games against Virginia and Duke respectively. So these players have proven that they can get it done and find the back of the net against some quality ACC opponents.
Yeah, look, you mentioned they rely on those three too much. You can't trust them, especially when they play against tougher opponents. I think Syracuse's defense is going to turn up late in the second half like we've seen over the 7-game winning streak and give their three-headed monster some trouble.
Well, we got familiarized with the Pitt Panthers. When we come back, we're getting re-familiarized with a little game called CC Labs. It's an exciting game. You don't want to miss it.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back to Cuse Countdown. Austin Barach, Sam Reis, Adam Avin here. We're playing CC Labs, an old-time favorite here on Cuse Countdown. How it works? Sam and Adam will be adding ingredients to three different offensive or three different categories of Syracuse women's lacrosse members of this team. What can we add to this offense, to this defense, and anything in between that makes this team special going forward for the NCAA tournament? Adam, I go to you first. I already mentioned a couple times the offense. It's a really good offense. We talked about it earlier in the show. What are you adding to the offense?
All right, well, I have my special goggles on here, which allows me to see, what needs to be added to the Syracuse women's lacrosse team. And because of that, I'm going to add smelling salts. And look, we've been talking about it a little bit.
Fired up.
You can give them a Red Bull, a good nap for all I care. As long as this team is relaxed and energized heading into the game, I mean, that's all we want to see, Sam. We've been talking about it a little bit already in the show. They start off a little slow, right? And the defense is sloppy, but if we just, the coaches on the sidelines are in NFL games that run around with water and Gatorade and smelling salts. Just wake up the players, wake up. Or the get back guy. That's what women's lacrosse team needs. Just some smelling salts, wake up right before the game, and I think the leads will jump off the board.
I'm with you. I like that, smelling salts. So I'm going to go, I guess, along similar lines, but with a little bit of a different approach. I haven't touched these in a while, unfortunately, and throwing shame on myself right now, but give these players some weights. Get them in the gym. We've mentioned there's been a few slow starts, like that Louisville game where Louisville was surprisingly in that game at the half. But if you get some of these players, a little pregame workout, get them ready to go, more domination out of the gates, Austin, and all of a sudden you see a team that's coming out flying and getting off to that strong start that they're looking for.
Real quick, guys, what's your max bench?
I can't reveal that.
350. So.
Yeah,
I'm like 400 actually.
We're benching the bar over here. We're moving on to the newcomers of this team. A lot of newcomers. Emma Muchnick, Julie Caramelli, just to name a couple. Sam, it's been a good group so far. What are you adding to make them even better?
Yeah, it's been a good group so far. The one criticism I would have is that a few of those players, like Megan Rode, I can't take it seriously in these goggles. Like Megan Rode, like Peyton Rowley, they've been a little bit inconsistent at times, and Emma Muchnick at times. So I'm gonna say get an alarm clock out, set a reminder.
Wow.
Get that alarm clock out so it's ringing each game, so all of those players know to show up and play their A game. I mean, you take for example Muchnick, who had hat tricks against UAlbany and Cornell, but she's had multiple 3-game streaks where she hasn't scored at all. And along similar lines, Megan Rode has had a couple of back-to-back games with really no shows. So I'd like to see a little bit more consistency there. The alarm clock will get you just that.
I'm going actually in the completely opposite direction, and I'm saying that they deserve a well-deserved vacation.
What? We're mid-season.
I think no. Well, okay.
Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
We got games to play.
Okay, then maybe just a celebration or a party or something. I don't know. But they need to be celebrated because they've done really well. It's very rare, at least in her 3 years so far under Kayla Trader. She doesn't play freshmen, kind of notoriously known for that. But Casey Benoit went out there as a freshman and took Superior Clark's spot and is playing against some of the top ACC offenses and guarding those attackers really well. You mentioned Emma Muchnick. I mean, she's a player that kind of fits maybe that Natalie Smith or Maddie Baxter role from last year, right? The person that can come in and get you some goals, even maybe with that second unit. We saw it in the last a couple games ago against Louisville. Just came in randomly in the fourth quarter. Syracuse already had a lead. But then 3 goals, got a hat trick, and Jolie Caramelli as well, another freshman, an attacker, something you don't see from Kayla Trader. I think she has a lot of faith in this squad, and they need to be celebrated.
No offense to the Big Red, but I don't think anybody needs to celebrate off the 17-4 when a couple starters were benched as well. Adam, we're going to you for the last one right here. Talking about Delaney Schweitzer, the goaltender. What do we need to add to her game?
All right, well, I'm saying super speed. She has to turn into the Flash, Sam, because you know when you have super speed and you see the Flash running, and then everything around them just turns into slow motion. That's what she needs. To see some of those balls flying towards her, going into the back of the net. She has to get those saves, Sam. Last year, so many games with double-digit saves per game. This year, just 3. Delaney Schweitzer, obviously, Kayla Trader has called her one of the best goalies and defenders in all of the country. But, I mean, she needs to step it up if this team needs a shot to go to another championship run.
That's right. It hasn't really been a smooth sailing season for Schweitzer. Save percentage down by 10 compared to what it was at the end of last season. So this is just a recommendation, no shade here, but get some contacts. You know, you can
or goggles like this.
No, this would hinder her ability. Well, to see better. You know, I wouldn't want to be a lacrosse goalie at all. It's a hard job, I admit that. But if you can see that ball better, if you get those contacts in, you're making more saves. And I could think that could go a long way for Delaney Schweitzer. Come on.
Well, guys, all I know is that I see the future of this show, and the future of the show tells us we're going to the NCAA tournament. We're looking at the upcoming schedule. We're getting out of this block. We're going to the future. Looking ahead to BC, Clemson, and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hey there, wrapping up shop on Cuse Countdown. Austin Barach, Adam Avin, Sam Reis. Syracuse, just 3 games left in its regular season slate that starts this Saturday against Pittsburgh. And they got games at Clemson and a big one at Boston College. Guys, the season is closing down. What are you looking for to make sure that this Orange team has its best foot forward going into the postseason play?
It's very similar to last year. Syracuse had an undefeated ACC record. The last game of the year was against BC, who had 1 loss. BC won that game, got the tiebreaker, and SU got bumped down to 2 in the HT tournament. They got to win that game if they want a better shot of maybe competing for an ACC title and further on.
That's exactly right. As we're inching closer and closer to that postseason, the last thing you want to do right now is step off the gas. So you got to keep that momentum rolling. Pitt, Clemson, those should be dominant wins. You can't look past those opponents, and then you're right, that'll get you ready for that BC regular season finale, which could ultimately decide the regular season ACC champion.
It absolutely could be. They lost to BC 8-7 carry in the Final Four last year. But right now, let's focus on the game at hand, Pittsburgh at CNS. Guys, we know the storyline, 7-game winning streak for Syracuse. Pittsburgh winless in the ACC this year, and they've struggled in ACC play historically in the 3 seasons as a program. Adam, score prediction between the Orange and the Panthers.
All right, I'm going 20-5, and really because I just think the Orange are just too dominant, Sam. You know, this team has started slow early in games, but they've turned up late. I think Syracuse, with Emma Tyrell and Emma Ward, how they've been playing lately, is going to be too much for the Panthers to handle. So Syracuse gets the win.
Yeah, I don't like agreeing with you all the time, but it's hard to go against you here. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a Syracuse team playing with all the momentum in the world, especially in conference play. Pitt in the complete opposite direction. So 21-3, Syracuse dominates.
I'm right there with you guys. I got the Cuse taking it 23-7. I think they go out to a fast start. Pittsburgh with some garbage time goals late to make the final score look a little bit better than what it really was. 8-game winning streak I have for Syracuse. All right, that's all the time we got. Sam Reis, Adam Avin, Austin Barach. It's been a pleasure to work with you guys. Thank you to the producer team, and thank you for watching the entire show.